Okay, please switch if you haven't switched. Please switch to the fourth person. Please switch to the fourth person. 2 more minutes. Okay, I'm going to give you about 1 more minute. Start to wrap it up. 1 more minute. Okay, 30 more seconds, you guys. 30 more seconds. All right, start to wrap it up. Please acknowledge your group. Everybody in your group. Okay, so let's have 2 people come up and share what breakthrough you had in choosing this past week, or even if you had a breakthrough now. So 2 people come up and share. Who'd like to come up? Yeah. Did you have a breakthrough in choosing?
Kinda.
Is that yes or no, guys?
I struggle
Who
with
had a breakthrough in choosing?
I feel more comfortable with the terminology now after discussing it with the
Okay.
I did prior.
You want to come and share that?
Okay.
Yep, and then Camilla, and then Anna. If you guys can keep it to about, you're good?
Should we turn the chair?
No, I want you to face the wall. Just kidding. No, yes, you can turn around.
Face the wall.
Listen,
I like it.
I'm going to leave the wall. It's good to see you smile, Edna. Okay, so what is the breakthrough that you had in choosing this week?
Okay, so the breakthrough that I had is I chose to be single One of the reasons why I came to the forum, I dealt with this whole thing with how I'm 36. Yeah, I know that's my age. I don't look it, but that's how old I am. And I
You're
had
26.
Huh?
You're like 26.
Yeah, I had 10 more years to that. And so I always had my whole stories. I always had a plan, and then the plan was at 27 I was gonna meet the man of my dreams. 29, get married. 31, have kids, and yeah, that didn't happen. So I choose to be single, and once I made a decision, I realized that my timeline was just done. I no longer lived for that timeline anymore, and it feels so great. It feels so great. So, yeah.
Good for you. Yeah.
And this is also my first time up here, and I took the advanced course this weekend, so that's why I'm up here, because, yeah.
What the advanced course does, it's just full-blown self-expression. So thank you for coming up and sharing yourself. So good to see you up here. Awesome. Christian,
Yes.
so nice to see you too.
Good to be seen. I'm glad I'm here. So what I get out of practicing living life as a matter of choice is that it's okay for me not to be comfortable with the language, but to still carry forward with the choice of accepting it. Is that float? I mean, I struggled a lot with the language of acceptance as being resigned in a negative, because for me, accepting something is accepting reality is what it is. And until I do that, I can't make a choice. I can't make a consideration. I'm in denial, refusal, delusion, whatever you want to call it. So for me, I have lived my life being taught that acceptance is part of the process of being empowered to make a choice. So I really struggled with the whole language of this. But I felt a lot more comfortable after sitting down and chatting about it with just the group tonight even. So.
And what did you discover in the group?
That it's my hang up on the language. It's the process is as I thought it was, where it is feeling empowered to make a choice based on the reality of life. That we always have that, and by making that choice, we step forward into it. That's what I got out of it, because I've been so hung up on the fact that acceptance is being, I feel, perceived as a negative, where I think acceptance is a positive.
Yeah. So we're not in negative or positive.
Right.
So now knowing what you've discovered in your group, what are you going to choose? What are you choosing in your life?
I'm choosing not to have ice cream.
Is that a real choice for you?
Yeah, that's a real choice for me. I mean, that's part of if I'm presented with vanilla or chocolate, I can choose to have neither. That's the thing that for me was important to come to my own realization.
So if we were going to go outside of the realm of chocolate vanilla,
Okay.
because that was our demonstration, and we were going to pick something that's real in life, an area of life for you.
My career.
Your career. What do you do?
I do web design.
Okay, great. Web design. How many web designers do we have here? Well, you're it. Oh, we have another one back here. Great. Okay. So what can you choose about web designing?
To stop doing it.
Does that empower you?
Yeah, I need to stop doing it. I've been doing it for 22 years. I'm bored out of it. I make good money, and I just don't want to do it anymore. So it's like finding something more fulfilling that I enjoy, that I'm giving back to the universe with, that I just don't, I feel like it's a trudge to get myself to actually do my work.
And what do you want to be doing?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
And the one thing I made a commitment to here was coming here to figure out why I want to be here. So that's why I've been coming. And why I want to be here is to figure out what I want to do, figure out what I want to be when I grow up. Because I'm not 36 or 26, I'm 48. So,
Oh my gosh.
yes. I got great chest hair. So,
That looked good. Authenticity, huh? So, when you said, what do you want to do? You're like,
I want to have a fulfilling career. I want to feel like I'm contributing to
what is that?
That's a question I've had and posed to myself before I even started doing web design.
Okay.
Yeah,
And how long has it been there?
How long has that question been there for me?
Yeah,
All my life.
which is 48 years,
Yeah.
okay? So when you were a baby coming out of the womb, you're like,
I don't know what I want to do. What, you candy? That's like a...
little Christian with his chest hair, his ponytail coming out of the womb.
Some things were different then.
So, you know, you can choose that you don't know what you want to do.
Mhm.
You can choose it.
How do
Okay.
you choose?
Hmm?
How do you choose?
How do I choose that I don't know what I want to do? I
No,
choose.
how do you choose what you want to do?
Well, I've been to career counselors and all those things.
No, guys, who had breakthrough in choosing again? Yeah. What did you do, Fred?
I looked at what I was doing that needed a choice. And I looked at what it was that was keeping me from making the choice. I decided I needed to set that aside and make the choice.
Yeah, so there was no longer any resistance.
Correct.
Yeah. So what is it, what's the resistance, Christian?
The money's easy and I don't have to work too hard.
I'm not talking about the new job. Oh, you mean you're working,
Yeah, why I continue to do this, yeah.
okay.
It provides me a lot of freedom to goof off if I want to goof off.
So, does your life matter to you?
That's something I've also struggled with. But yes, I think yes, I want my life to matter to me, and I'm choosing to make my life matter to me.
I'm asking the question.
Does my life matter to me? Yes, my life matters to me.
Okay. So, did your life matter to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So if you kind of offer, you say, yeah, my life doesn't matter.
Well, but I have
I'll
felt
just get in the car and go home.
I have felt that way.
Not after the.
Well,
phone.
it you know, it can come and go.
Okay.
So, what are you passionate about?
Helping people.
Okay. What else?
Like women.
Okay.
I can't go anywhere in this conversation with you.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be difficult. I like helping people.
Okay.
I like teaching people.
And if you could pick a career,
I mean, I could be a teacher. That's one of the things I've bounced around. But I
Can you
just,
do both?
what?
Can you do both?
I don't-
Teach people how to make sites?
Yeah, I could probably teach people to do websites.
Open a model agency.
so Christian, are you gonna be willing to choose whatever you're unwilling to choose?
Yes, I am. That's why I've been driving down here.
When?
I don't know how to answer that. I want to feel comfortable with it. I want it to come to me. I don't want to teach web design. I want to get away from sitting in front of a computer screen.
Have you chosen that you want to get away from the computer screen?
Maybe not.
Yeah. It still lingers.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came home from the seminar leader week, and I was in training all weekend. I was here at the center with all the seminar leaders in Florida. Well, yeah, and then the whole central region was on Zoom. So I spent, you know, a lot of you in advanced course, and then I was in my training all weekend. And, you know, I drove home, and I was thinking, oh gosh, I'm home enough early because another football game's gonna start. It's like, and I won't start until 8:20. And I go home, and as soon as I open up the door, you know, little Angela's dog is so cute. He comes running up to me, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited, yay, you know, I'm so happy. And Angela's like, I gotta share something with you. I'm like, okay, can you just hold on a second? Because I'm going to the bathroom. I gotta change my shoes. And then I'm starting to head over to the, you know, to the closet to kind of take my, you know, dress clothes off to change into something that's comfortable. And she's following me. You know, and I'm like, and she goes, I gotta tell you about the dryer. And I'm thinking, I cannot believe she's talking to me right now. You know, and I'm like, I feel the irritation starts, you know, and she's got this big smile on her face. She's like, you're not gonna believe it. I actually pulled the dryer out and I replaced the dryer hose. You know, my thought was like, is that the shear? That was my thought. You know, does it really require my attention right now? You know? And so I go in the closet and I was like moving stuff around, dog's there, she's like, I need you to look at something, there was a piece of wire that was coming out, I had to clip something off, and I think it's gonna, I don't know if it's an electrical problem, and I'm like, I hope it's not an electrical problem. So, I could just feel this irritation. And like, it's common sense not to bother me right then. I've been gone all weekend, you know? And then all of a sudden I'm like, wow, I can choose that I'm irritated right now. I'm not gonna resist, I'm choosing irritated. And boom, the irritation went away. And then when the irritation went away, I said, look, I really just need a couple of minutes to get the shoes off and, you know, go to the bathroom and other things. And I can promise you that I want to hear the rest of the story, and then we'll go over there and look at it over there in a couple of minutes. Is that okay? She goes, yeah. And that's all it was. She turned around and she just walked off. I was like, I can't believe because that could have been, it could have been handled a whole different way. I'm capable of handling it a different way. Right? You guys heard the internal dialogue. That one not went over well. But it was amazing. So, you know, I go to the bathroom, all the things I need to do, and I come over there, and she's pulling the dryer out, and she's pulling her cell phone to look over this, so you can see down in there, and all it is this little wire that came out of the dryer hose, and she shortened it up, and she put the hose clamp around it, but she thought that the electricity or something there was gonna be electricity through the wire. I look at her, no, there's no electricity here. And she's like, can you believe I did that? I'm like, I am so happy. You know, and it's really incredible to get to be with her and her joy with that. So I chose the irritation, right? Or with my boss, like on Friday, I chose that I was irritated with him. Irritation comes up, oh wow, I can really resist it, I can make him wrong, I can go over here, I can ignore him. Like I'm choosing right now, I'm irritated. I really want to be left alone and just do this. Do you get it? You choose what is.
Well, you accept that she's going to irritate you.
Not accept.
See, I understand you. This is how my dialogue works.
Yeah. So what does accept mean, you guys? We're a little bit behind it. Pull up the acceptance definition. I actually put out a handout to the group leaders if you have it.
Acceptance.
Oh, is that the one I gave you?
Yeah, because I appreciated this greatly. Willingness to tolerate a difficult or unpleasant situation.
Okay. Yep.
And once you accepted, and this is how I see it, I mean, once you accepted that she's got to talk to you right now, and you accepted that it irritated you, you were able to choose, I'm irritated.
Yeah.
And that's how my language works with this.
But look at what choice. Look at choice.
Choose to select freely and after consideration. When you choose, you make the selection freely after all the considerations. You look over and consider, and when that is complete, you choose. Should you go? That is different from when you decide. To decide is to select on the basis of considerations. In choosing, you select. In deciding, reasons make the selection. Choosing is an action that takes place right now. Life is just the way it is, and just the way it isn't. You either choose it or you don't. Whatever you don't choose in life, you get stuck with. What you're choosing that you have resisted choosing. When you choose what is, you start to create a profound relationship to life. In the moment you choose life the way it is, you are free. The action of choosing creates a clearing for what is possible in the future. There is at every moment the opportunity to choose life just the way it is and just the way it isn't. That is what it is to be a choice.
Yes. So if we had a distinction called acceptance, I would bring forward the distinction acceptance.
Okay. It's just the terminology for me. It's my semantics and it's my hang-up, and I choose that that's my hang-up.
Are you freed? Are you freed up there on that?
Yeah, I am. it's such an ingrained habit for me that.
It's a whole new language.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's I find a big part of what Landmark is giving you new language to use. So
Absolutely.
that it empowers your ability to react, to respond, and see and perceive life from a place of being empowered.
Beautiful. It's a whole new language, isn't it?
Yeah,
If you guys walked out of there and said, you know, half the stuff was bored.
yeah, usually they're great company.
Yeah, right? It's like foreign, it's a foreign language. So,
Landmark
yeah.
Babel, it's cool. It's totally cool.
Well, welcome, Christian, thank you.
Okay.
Awesome. Very good. Okay, I'm gonna give you about a minute to share with your partner, and I want you to share what opened up for you out of working with your group, okay? So turn to your partner and share what opened up for you about working with your group on this part here. What I got out of living life doesn't matter of choice. Turn to your partner, please share 1 minute each. Okay, go ahead and switch. Please switch. 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Please switch. Okay, 15 more seconds, you guys. 15 more seconds. Start to wrap it up. Okay, please acknowledge your partner. All right. Are you guys ready for the next conversation? I was like, yes, get on with it. Okay. So our next conversation is about being successful. Don't you guys love success? Being successful in living a transformed life, a life of possibility for yourself and the people in your life. So we're going to talk about inauthentic fear. So what we mean by inauthentic fear is a fear of something that isn't happening. It's not happening, and we act as if it is happening. So the experience of fear is what happens for us internally. It happens in our bodies. You know, and that part is real because it's going on in our bodies. And our bodies, it doesn't know the difference between a real threat in the present and an imagined perceived fear of some future event that's likely or not likely. Get that? Does everybody get that? Heather? Do not get it. Anybody else? Yeah, great. Check in. Anybody? Those are the 3 people over here. Anybody over here? So the experience of fear. What is it? What is it? What do you experience? Like when you guys are experiencing fear, what happens in your body?
Heart rate.
Your heart races. Sweat. Clarice doesn't sweat.
Stagnant, like
Okay.
prison.
Well, you actually have bars that come up and
I
find
feel
you.
like stagnant, like pressure, like
So you have something coming up pressing against you?
it's internal.
Okay, there you go. So what's internal?
Like a resistance and a rage at the same time.
Well, that's like you're describing what's going on. So what's something you experience in your body?
Nervousness, like, so say you about to get into an argument with your boss.
You always say that, Chris.
Because I have a boss who just is like very fearful. But if I'm going to be myself, the fear of it isn't really of him, it's of losing my job if I open my mouth.
Okay.
Adrenaline,
Okay, say more about that.
it's like the fight or flight response. So adrenaline kind of ramps up in fear. It gets you ready to either run or to attack, defend.
Nancy.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Not really, because you can feel it.
So when I experience fear, my shoulders get tight, my neck gets really tight, and then my breathing slows down where it almost stops. So I'm like, God, I have to strategize how to get around this. So that's how it shows up in my body. Is that clear, Heather and other people? Okay, yeah. Now, what you got to know here is that our bodies don't know the difference. Our bodies don't know the difference between a real threat in the present and an imagined, perceived fear. It doesn't know the difference. An imagined, perceived fear of something that's going to happen in the future, like public speaking. Isn't that like the number one fear out there? Besides getting married? I love this humor stuff. Isn't it fun? So one of the most common examples of inauthentic fear is the fear of failure. Yes.
What about fear of death? If you go on a cable line, slide across a big canyon, let's say a kilometer deep, Grand Canyon, go side to side.
Have you been in Mexico where they have those? I've done that. This is called the Superman. It's a mile long.
Costa Rica, Costa Rica, that's a big one.
Yeah. So it's a fear in it's a feir in your body. But it's inauthentic fear.
When I have fear, I just don't do it.
Okay, yeah, that's why we're going to talk about this tonight. It's excellent. Because how many of you have fear and you don't take action because of the fear? Human beings, we do that. Great, right? So, can we have a conversation about having a successful, transformed life if we don't have a conversation about fear and fear of failure? Right? People are nutty about failure. When we talk about fear, people go crazy about failure.
We hear too many stories. We just heard a story of failure.
What does
How
nutty
she
mean?
lost so much money.
What is nutty? What comes to mind when you hear the word nutty? Crazy? Loco? That's the Spanish version of crazy, right? That's the only Spanish word I know. Loco.
Sounds like an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur. What else? Jason, what's your version of nutty? What do you hear when you hear nutty?
Crazy.
Crazy?
Like delirious, a bit, you don't feel that focus.
Okay, yeah. Very good. I'm not going to recreate, but I got it. Thank you. And over here.
Erratic.
You're erratic?
Yeah.
What if you get erratic when you're afraid?
Daring.
Daring? Okay, great. So, most people deal in one way or another with a fear of failure. So how many of you deal with the fear of failure? I just said that, didn't I? How many of you deal with it? How many of you deal with it every day?
Fear of failure.
Yeah. In your jobs, maybe your relationship somewhere, maybe like doing 20 push-ups. I know Julian doesn't have that problem. He's got his muscles.
Lindsay coaches
The biggest fear is,
Huh?
biggest fear is starting a company, putting money into some subject and you don't know if it will succeed or not.
Yes!
That's the biggest fear.
For you.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So our conversation tonight is not meant to trivialize your fear of failure, to minimize it, to make it seem less important, right? So for many people, the fear of failure is one of the most difficult obstacles to deal with, as we said. And I want you to know that there's no easy way around it. So we're not having this conversation like a magic bullet, so it's not like I'm going to wave a wand and you're just not going to be experiencing fear anymore. If you pay me some money, maybe.
Everybody chip in.
You guys are cured of fear. And we're all going off to great water. Right? So we're looking for a new perspective on this aspect of being human, which will leave you with power in the face of it. You know, and that's really the intention of the series, to leave you able to deal powerfully with each and every aspect of your life. You can now see how our work is tying into the intention of the series, right? So let me ask you, why is the fear of failure such a big deal? Clarice?
Because it stops you from doing anything that you decide that you want to do.
You just want to stand up too, okay?
Because it will stop you from doing anything you want.
It will stop you from doing anything you want. Great. Who else? Danny, stand up.
It allows me to know that fearful, oh, that's the direction I want to go.
Okay, so there's fear there in the direction you want to go.
It tells me that if that's where I want to go, then I have to figure it out. If it's
So why is it a big deal though?
why? Because